Welcome to the graveyard. Today I will play DREAMIO AI-powered adventures. As the title says, this is a game rejected by Steam, so you cannot buy on Steam, but the dev Oleg gave me through the Steam creator. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Oleg. By the way, Oleg is also... Hey Oleg! Welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to, explain the situation. Yeah. Oleg is also developed the game Rockmotrika. Yeah, I played a couple of times. It's walking simulator, physically. Yeah, it's a really fun game too. So. Anyway. Hey, by the way, what is this token? Is this just a cosmetic or just... Actually, you need to play this game and you consume it. What happens if you reach 0? Okay. Yeah. Is it real? Or just a Hey, Villain of Legend, welcome. Yep. As I said in previous live stream, I'm playing the AI-powered game rejected by Steam. Well, is it possible to buy it? Invalid use? Anyway, let's play. There are a lot of... Damn, it's really hard to choose one. But Zombie, yeah. Zombie. What is this? Oh, you can edit the explanation here. Nice. But yeah, let's start. I will play Zombie Apocalypse at first. Yeah, wake up the cacophony of screams and okay. Welcome to DREAMIO AI-powered adventure. Here are a few tips to get started. Oh nice, there's a tutorial. You can type, say your action, dialogue, events, ask narrator questions, and interact with them in any way you want. Oh, I love it. I will say a lot of nonsense to the narrator. By default, narrator will trigger a game over if you die, and may reject some actions. Oh, narrator will reject. If you'd like less restriction, God mode. Oh, you can click rule set button at the top and remove some or all narrator instruction. Oh, that's nice. I like God mode. You can also customize narrator's behavior or jailbreak him by modifying his instructions in the rule set. This is really nice. Ask the player what they will do next and progress the story bit by bit based on their choices. When player dies, print game over. If player attempts to do something supernatural, tell them why they can't. Oh! You can edit the rule set like directly type into this text box? What? but it's interesting. Anyway. Oh, I gotta read manually. You wake up as you groggily rub the sleep from our eyes and peer through the window. I hope someone will read this for me. You're confronted with a sight that sends chills down your spine. People are stumbling around, sick and disoriented, with blood smeared on their faces and clothes. One of them lunges at the passerby, biting into their flesh. Your heart racing, you quickly realize what's happening. The zombie apocalypse. What will you do next? Oh, I can choose what do I next. Okay. When I type, I use voice typing on Google Document. So let's. What do I next? I will hide in the safe place and do nothing. Okay.
You quickly grab your phone and start searching for a safe place to hide. You come across an article talking about a fortified shelter located a few miles away from the city. It claims that it's well stocked with food, water, and medical supplies, and can withstand any zombie attack. Before you know it, you're on your way there. As you approach the shelter, you notice that the area is eerily quiet.
Oh, nice.
The gates are closed shut but are unguarded. What will you do next?
Unguarded. Oh, nice. Area is eerily quiet. The gates are closed, shut, but unguarded. Okay. I will climb up the gate and break into the shelter.
You approach the gate and start climbing up. The spikes on top scratch your hands, but you manage to make it to the other side. You try to pry the gates open, but they don't budge. Suddenly, you hear a loud buzzing sound and see a swarm of flies flying out of the shelter. As you step back in disgust, you notice that the ground is covered in dead bodies, both humans and zombies alike.
Oh no.
It seems like the shelter has been overrun by the undead as well. Just then, you hear a rustling noise from behind you. You turn around to see a zombie lunging at you.
Oh my god.
What will you do next?
What can I do? I'm done. I'm done for. Maybe I should say something practical, not God mode kind of things. What are my choices? Nice, you can generate choice. Randomized first, you can try to reason with the zombie and see if it responds. Oh, interesting. Fight the zombie with whatever weapon you have. Run away, of course. It's nice.
You turn and run as fast as you can, adrenaline pumping through your veins. The zombie chases after you, its arms outstretched. You manage to outrun it and keep going until you're far away from the shelter. As you catch your breath, you realize that your journey for survival has only just begun.
Oh my god. Okay. I will searching for another shelter and food and weapon. Oh my god, a typo. But yeah, I guess it's okay.
You start roaming the desolate city streets, looking for any sign of life or safety. You come across an abandoned convenience store and quickly search through it, finding some canned food and a few bottles of water. As you exit the store, you hear a rustling sound from the alleyway next to it. You cautiously approach it, weapon in hand, only to find a group of survivors huddling together. They introduce themselves as a family that has been on the run since the outbreak began. They tell you that they heard rumors about a military-run safe haven, located in an old prison on the outskirts of town. They offer to join forces with you if you help them get there safely. What will you do next?
I gotta join the force. I will refuse the offer and leave for another safe place. Offer. Maybe
You thank the family for their offer, but explain that you have decided to continue searching for another safe place on your own. They wish you luck and you part ways, each heading in different directions. As you continue down the street, you come across an old abandoned warehouse. It looks like it could provide some decent shelter and potential supplies, so you cautiously approach it. However, as you get closer, you hear a low growling sound coming from inside. What will you do next?
I will observe the source of the noise and prepare for the fight.
You cautiously approach the entrance of the warehouse, weapon at the ready. As you peer inside, you see a group of zombies huddled together in the corner, growling and snarling as they sense your presence. You prepare for a fight, taking deep breaths to steady yourself as you get ready to take them on.
Is the sound okay? Maybe? I feel like kind of the narrator voice is kind of low. Anyway. What should I do next? You prepare for the fight, taking deep breaths, steady yourself. What are my choices? I will try to sneak past them about a fight. I will charge in attack. Okay, I will avoid.
You take a deep breath and slowly begin to make your way towards the other side of the warehouse, doing your best to remain quiet and stealthy. You carefully step over debris and avoid making any sudden movements, hoping that the zombies won't notice you. As you get closer to the exit, you feel a sense of relief wash over you. It looks like you might just make it out without having to fight after all.
Okay. I will continue searching for the food, weapon, and safe place.
You make your way out of the warehouse and back onto the city streets. As you walk, your eyes scan the area for any signs of a safe place to shelter or supplies to scavenge. You come across a few abandoned shops, but they have already been picked clean by other survivors or overrun with zombies. Eventually, you stumble upon a small office building that appears to be mostly untouched. You cautiously enter and begin to search the rooms for any useful items.
What are my choices? I've searched for food and water. Also for weapon and ammunition. Ammunition. Food and water. I also ask question, right?
You rummage through the various offices, searching for anything that might be of use to you. You find a few bottles of water and some energy bars tucked away in a desk drawer, which you quickly stash in your backpack. As you continue to explore, you come across a staircase leading to the basement level. Will you venture down there or continue searching the main floor?
Choice. I will venture down the basement level.
You carefully make your way down the creaky stairs to the dimly lit basement. The musty smell of old boxes and mold fills your nose as you scan the room for anything useful. You notice a few shelves with canned food and bottled water, but they are mostly empty.
Empty?
In one corner, you find an old toolbox with some basic tools inside, alongside a first aid kit. As you reach for it, you hear a low growl coming from behind one of the storage crates.
I will prepare the fight and approach the source of noises.
You cautiously make your way towards the source of the growling, readying your weapon in case you need to defend yourself. As you get closer, you see a small group of zombies huddled around a pile of old cardboard boxes. They are unaware of your presence, allowing you to get close without being noticed. Will you try to sneak past them or take them out?
Of course I will take him out, but yeah. I will take them out. My kung fu technique.
I'm sorry, but kung fu techniques are not effective against zombies.
Yes, it is.
You need a weapon to take them out. Will you use your gun or melee weapon?
Yes, it is. But yeah, you can change the rule, right? Yes, so. Okay, what am I choice? Gun, not melee weapon.
You grip your melee weapon tightly and approach the zombies, ready to strike. They notice you as you get closer and lunge towards you with outstretched arms. You swing your weapon with all your might, taking out one zombie at a time until they are all lying motionless on the ground. As you catch your breath, you realize that the noise may have attracted more zombies to the area.
Oh my god.
Will you quickly grab what supplies you can and flee, or stay to search for more items?
Yeah, of course I flee. I don't know why.
You quickly grab what supplies you can, including some canned food and bottled water. The shelves are mostly empty, but you do find an old toolbox and first aid kit in one corner of the room. You hear the sound of more zombies approaching from down the hall and realize that it's time to leave. You run up the stairs and out onto the street, looking for a safe place to hide from the horde that is surely following close behind. As you turn a corner, you see a large abandoned warehouse looming ahead of you.
Again?
Will you head towards it or continue running in search of another safe haven?
Another safe haven.
You keep running, searching for any signs of a safe place to hide. You round another corner and come across an old department store. The front windows have been boarded up, but you can see some light coming from the back of the building. It's risky, but it may be your best option at this point. Will you try to enter through the front or look for another way in?
Look for another way.
You circle around the building, searching for another way to get in. You notice a small ventilation duct near ground level that looks like it might be big enough for you to crawl through. It's a tight squeeze, but you manage to wiggle your way inside and find yourself in a dimly lit storeroom. The air is musty and stale, but it feels safer than being out on the street with the zombies.
That's nice.
As you take stock of your surroundings, you hear something rustling nearby.
Oh no, again?
Will you investigate or stay put?
I will stay put. Oh no.
You decide to stay put and remain cautious, not wanting to attract any unwanted attention. The rustling sound continues for a few moments before fading away. You take the opportunity to take stock of your supplies and make sure everything is in order. As you settle down, you begin to realize how tired you are from all the running and fighting. Will you rest for a while or continue exploring?
I gotta rest.
You decide to rest for a while and try to catch your breath. You find a corner of the storeroom where you can hunker down and keep an eye on the entrances. As you settle in, you start to feel the weariness catching up with you.
Oh no.
It's hard to believe how much has happened in just a few short days.
Oh.
Eventually, you drift off into an uneasy sleep, with the sound of shuffling footsteps echoing in your dreams.
What am I choice? Okay. Let's rest.
You decide to stay put and rest a little longer, hoping to recharge before continuing on your journey.
Yep.
The rustling sound you heard earlier has long since faded away, leaving the storeroom quiet once again. You take the opportunity to go over your supplies and make sure everything is in order. As you do so, you hear a faint scratching sound from one of the boxes that catches your attention.
No.
Will you investigate or ignore it?
I will investigate this time.
You decide to investigate the scratching sound, cautiously moving towards the box where the noise is coming from. As you approach, you notice that one of the boxes has a small hole in it and must have been gnawed by a rat or some other small animal.
Right. Okay. Choice. Check the box.
You cautiously approach the box with a hole in it and take a closer look. Inside, you see a few pieces of scrap metal and what appears to be an old wrench. It might not seem like much, but they could come in handy if you need to fix something later on. Do you want to take them with you or leave them behind?
Take them.
You decide to take the scrap metal and wrench with you, carefully placing them in your backpack. As you do so, the scratching sound suddenly grows louder, causing you to freeze in place. Suddenly, a group of rats burst out of one of the boxes and scurry past you towards the door. You realize that the noise must have attracted them, and it's time for you to leave too. Will you quietly make your way towards the exit or try to fight off the rats?
Oh, I gotta fight rats. Try to fight off. Quietly make my way towards the exit.
You decide to quietly make your way towards the exit, trying not to attract any more attention from the rats. You carefully step over some of the boxes and crates, making sure not to knock anything over. As you get closer to the door, you can hear faint murmurs and shuffling sounds coming from outside. It's possible that there are zombies or other survivors nearby, so you need to remain cautious. Finally reaching the door, you gently push it open and peer out into the hallway. The coast seems clear for now, but you'll need to be careful as you continue your journey through this dangerous world.
Yeah. What are my choice? Sneak through the hallway, quietly exit the department store and head towards the new location. Yeah, of course. It's time
You
to
quickly
find
make your way out of the
community.
department store, ready to continue your search for safety. As you step outside onto the deserted street, you see that it's still early morning and the sun has just started to rise on the horizon. The streets are empty and eerily quiet, save for the occasional distant moan or shuffling sound. You scan your surroundings and decide to head towards a nearby grocery store that you spotted earlier. It may have some useful supplies that could help you survive this apocalypse. You begin walking briskly towards it, keeping an eye out for any potential danger along the way.
I gotta find another survivor.
As you make your way towards the grocery store, you keep an eye out for any signs of life. You know that surviving alone in this apocalypse will be difficult, and having someone else to watch your back could make all the difference. You scan the area for any signs of movement or noise and listen carefully for any potential survivors nearby. You see a few abandoned cars on the street but don't spot anyone around them. Suddenly, you hear a faint voice coming from a nearby alleyway. It's too quiet to make out what's being said, but it sounds like another person is speaking. What do you want to do?
I will try to communicate with the source of the voice.
cautiously approach the alleyway, moving slowly and quietly so as not to attract any unwanted attention. As you get closer, the voice becomes clearer and you can make out what's being said.
Oh.
It's a man's voice, and he seems to be talking to someone else. You try to call out to him, but your voice is hoarse from all the running and screaming you've done in the past few days.
Oh no.
The man suddenly stops speaking and turns towards you, his eyes wide with surprise. He seems just as surprised to see another survivor as you are.
Oh.
What do you want to say to him?
I finally found another survivor. How you doing, buddy?
The man looks at you, clearly relieved to see another living human being. I'm doing okay, all things considered, he replies. Name's Mark. What's yours?
Batman.
Mark raises an eyebrow at your answer, but decides not to question it further. Nice to meet you, Batman, he says with a small smile. What brings you out here?
I thought Gotham is yeah. I tried to save the Gotham.
Mark looks at you with confusion. Gotham? Are you from another city or something? He asks. You explain to him that you were just making a reference to Batman, the comic book character. Mark chuckles a little and nods in understanding. So, what's your plan now? He asks. I was just heading towards that grocery store over there to grab some supplies.
I will say, have you seen Alfred, my butler?
Mark looks at you with confusion once again. Alfred? Who's Alfred? He asks. You realize that your attempt to be funny has fallen flat, so you explain who Alfred is and how you were just making another Batman reference. Mark nods along with your explanation, but seems a little uneasy. Look, Batman, he says hesitantly. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but are you okay? You seem a little off. You take a deep breath and try to compose yourself. The truth is, you're not okay. You've been running on adrenaline for days now and you feel like you're about to break down any moment. I'm fine, you say firmly, trying to convince both yourself and Mark. I just need to get some supplies and find somewhere safe to hold up for a while.
Yeah.
Mark doesn't look entirely convinced, but he doesn't push the issue further. Alright then, he says with a nod.
Okay. What should we do now? Okay, I will say, what should we do now? Should we find another survivor or community?
Mark thinks for a moment before responding. Honestly, I think finding a community would be our best bet. Safety in numbers and all that. Plus, if we're lucky, they might have some supplies or even a plan for getting out of this mess. You consider his words and nod in agreement. Alright then, let's head towards the nearest town or city and see if we can find any signs of life. Mark nods in agreement and the two of you set off down the road, sticking to the shadows as much as possible to avoid attracting any unwanted attention from the zombies that still roam the streets. As you walk, you can't help but feel a sense of hopelessness wash over you. The world as you knew it is gone forever and there's no telling what kind of horrors lay ahead. But you push those thoughts aside and focus on the task at hand, survival.
Yep. What are my choices? Stop and rest bit. Continue in the nearest town city with Mark. change course and try to find a different road community. Mark. Should I trust Mark? I don't know, but I continue towards the nearest town or city with Mark. Yeah, but when I get bored, yeah, I will kill Mark.
You and Mark push forward, walking through the abandoned city streets. The broken and overturned cars lining the road make it difficult to navigate, but you manage to make your way through the rubble and debris. The buildings on either side of the street are dark and empty, their windows shattered and doors hanging off their hinges. In the distance, you can hear the moans of a few zombies wandering aimlessly, but they don't seem to have noticed your presence yet. You stick close to Mark as you make your way deeper into the city, hoping to find some sign of life or safety amidst the desolation. As you walk, you can't help but wonder what happened here. Was it a sudden outbreak that caught everyone by surprise? Or was it a slow and steady descent into chaos that nobody saw coming? Whatever happened, all that remains now is destruction and death.
Oh. Okay, what are my choices? Keep moving forward, take a break and rest. I will say, let's build the outpost here.
You suggest to Mark that you should build an outpost in the area. He nods in agreement, recognizing the potential for safety and the need to fortify your position. Together, you start looking around for a suitable location. After some exploration, you find a large abandoned building with high walls and sturdy gates that would be perfect for your needs.
Nice.
It appears to have been a government facility before the outbreak. As you begin clearing out the building and setting up defenses, you attract the attention of more zombies. They start shuffling towards your position, drawn by the noise and movement. You work quickly, realizing that time is of the essence. But as you are reinforcing one of the gates, one zombie manages to slip through unnoticed and attacks you from behind.
Oh no. I would die. Fight off the zombie with my weapon. Try to push zombie weapon, of course.
You quickly turn around, facing the zombie that has attacked you. It's a grotesque sight, with its pale skin, bloodshot eyes and gnarled claws. You pull out your weapon and engage it in close quarters combat. The zombie is surprisingly fast and agile, but you manage to land a few decisive blows that eventually bring it down.
Yes.
As you catch your breath, you realize that the noise from the fight has attracted even more zombies.
Oh no.
They start pounding on the gates and walls of your outpost, threatening to break through at any moment.
Oh no, my outpost. What are my choices? Continue fight off zombie with Mark. Restart this. Yeah, fighting off with Mark.
You turn to Mark, who is already wielding his own weapon. Together, you fight off the zombies that are trying to break through your defenses.
Thunder.
It's a grueling battle, with the sound of flesh tearing and bones cracking filling the air. But slowly and steadily, you manage to thin out the numbers.
Nice.
Suddenly, one of the gates gives way with a loud creak.
Oh no.
A group of zombies pour into your outpost,
Why?
forcing you and Mark to fight even harder. Despite the overwhelming odds, you hold your ground and manage to take down every last zombie in your path.
Yes.
But now your defenses are breached and there are likely more zombies on their way.
No. To reinforce, restart safer location, of course. Damn it.
You and Mark quickly retreat to a safer location within the outpost, away from the zombie horde that has breached your defenses. As you catch your breath and assess your situation, you realize that your current outpost is no longer safe. You need to regroup and find a new place to fortify before more zombies arrive.
Yeah.
Mark suggests checking the government facility for any possible escape routes or alternative areas to fortify. It's risky, but it might be your best chance at surviving this apocalypse.
Okay, hey Mark, we gotta find another safe place and other survivors.
Mark agrees with you, and after a quick search of the government facility, you find an emergency exit leading to a nearby forest. It seems like a good place to start searching for other survivors. As you head deeper into the forest, you're ambushed by a group of bandits.
Bandits.
They demand your supplies and threaten violence if you don't comply. What will you do?
Okay, this time kung fu. Yeah. This time my kung fu beat the enemy, every single one of them.
Sorry, but you can't use Kung Fu in this scenario. These are heavily armed bandits and attempting to fight them off alone would be suicide.
Excuse me?
You need to consider a more strategic approach. What will you do?
I will it's kind of difficult. What are my choices? Use stress, sneak past bandits, and continue searching for other survivors. How use stealth to sneak? I guess we already spotted, right? Heavily armed. Yep, I gotta escape this time.
You nod to Mark and silently signal that you're going to try to sneak past the bandits. The two of you carefully make your way through the dense forest, avoiding twigs and branches that could give away your position. As you get closer to the clearing where the bandits are, you notice a fallen tree trunk that forms a natural bridge over a small stream. You quietly cross it and continue on your way. Thankfully, your stealth pays off, and you manage to bypass the bandits without them ever noticing. You continue deeper into the forest, searching for any signs of other survivors or a safe place to take refuge. After traveling for several hours, you come across a small cabin in a clearing.
Nice.
It looks abandoned but also like it could be fortifiable with some modifications. What will you do?
I will make this place our fort.
You nod to Mark, and the two of you approach the cabin cautiously. You push open the slightly ajar door and step inside. The interior of the cabin is small but cozy. There's a rustic fireplace with a pot hanging over it, and two wooden chairs sitting in front of it. The walls are lined with shelves stocked with canned goods, bottles of water, and other supplies.
Why?
You take a quick inventory of what's available, making note of anything that could be useful for fortifying the cabin. There's plenty of sturdy wood planks lying around outside that can be used to board up the windows and reinforce the door. With some work, this place could become a safe haven for you and Mark. What will you do next?
Create fence trap around the fort, and of course, yeah, more and more trap. Not truck.
You and Mark head outside to survey the area around the cabin. The clearing it's located in is relatively small, and the surrounding forest is dense with tall trees. You spot a small stream running nearby, which could be useful for gathering water. After some discussion, you both agree on creating fence traps around the perimeter of the clearing. You locate sturdy tree trunks that can be used as posts and start digging holes in the ground to plant them in place. With some effort, you manage to construct a solid fence out of sharpened wooden stakes bound together with wire. As you work, you hear rustling in the bushes nearby. You both pause and draw your weapons just in case. Suddenly, a group of zombies emerges from the trees and starts shuffling towards you.
Oh no.
What will you do next?
Yep, attacking zombies with long, sharp spear from behind the fence trap. Not spear, spear. My pronunciation.
You and Mark quickly position yourselves behind the fence trap and take up your spears, ready to fight off the approaching zombies.
Nice.
As they shuffle closer, you both thrust your weapons through the gaps in the fence, piercing their undead flesh. The zombies moan and groan as they stumble towards you, but you manage to keep them at bay with your spears. However, one of the zombies manages to break through the fence by pushing against it with all its weight.
Why?
It lunges towards you, reaching out with its arms. What will you do next?
What can I do? All we can do is escaping, right? Retreat behind the cabin and regroup.
You and Mark quickly back away from the zombie that broke through the fence and retreat behind the cabin. You can hear the sounds of more zombies approaching, but you take a moment to catch your breath and plan your next move. From behind cover, you both peek around the corner of the cabin to assess the situation. There are several zombies milling about outside the fence trap, but they haven't yet noticed your presence. Mark suggests trying to sneak around them to make a break for it, while you consider fighting them off head-on. What will you do next?
Capture one zombie and chop off its arm and creating sound trap with it and place it outside the cabin. Sound trap.
I'm sorry, but that's not possible. Zombies are not capable of creating music or being used as instruments. What will you do instead to deal with the zombies outside?
Sound trap.
Again, I'm sorry, but that's not possible. Zombies cannot be used in this way. What do you want to do to deal with the zombies outside?
Okay. We will deal with them with the long sharp spear, one by one.
You nod in agreement with Mark's suggestion and prepare to fight off the zombies with your long sharp spears. As they start to notice you, you begin attacking them one by one through the fence trap, taking care not to let them get too close. The zombies thrash and moan as they fall one by one, but more seem to be approaching from deeper in the forest. What will you do now?
hide in the fort, and we will hide inside and keep quiet and wait for the horde go away.
You and Mark quickly retreat inside the cabin and wait in silence, hoping that the zombies will disperse on their own. The moans of the undead grow louder as they approach the fence trap, but eventually, they seem to move further away. After a few tense minutes, the noise fades into the distance. What will you do now?
We will create we will create basement floor for the safety, and we will create more and more defense trap and trap. And digging holes a lot so that zombies cannot approach the area.
You and Mark quickly get to work, agreeing that fortifying the cabin is the best course of action. You start by digging a deep hole around the perimeter of the fence trap, making it harder for zombies to approach. Then, you begin building a basement floor inside the cabin, which will provide additional safety in case of an attack. As night falls, you work tirelessly on building more defense traps and reinforcing the existing ones. The sound of your hammers and saws echo through the forest as you create a veritable fortress out of your small cabin. When morning comes, you step back to admire your handiwork, feeling proud of what you've accomplished. What will you do next?
Expand the area of trap and start the farming. Expand area of trap.
You and Mark make a plan to expand the area of traps, figuring that the more you can keep the zombies at bay, the safer you'll be. With shovels in hand, you begin digging more holes around the perimeter of your fortress while also adding additional traps like tripwires and spike pits.
Nice.
As for farming, you start planting some crops in the cleared out space outside your cabin. It's slow going at first, since it takes time for seeds to grow and there's not much sunlight filtering through the thick canopy of trees.
Oh my god.
But with patience and diligence, you manage to start cultivating a small garden that will hopefully yield enough food to last through the next few months. Days turn into weeks as you settle into your new routine of fortifying your cabin, expanding your traps, and tending to your crops. You still have moments of fear and uncertainty when zombies come too close for comfort or supplies run low. But overall, things seem to be going well.
Nice. I will make the sign searching for the survivors outside of the area.
With the cabin now well fortified and your crops starting to yield produce, you and Mark decide it's time to start thinking about reaching out to any other survivors who might be out there.
Nice.
You gather some wood and paint, and spend a few hours creating signs that read, "Safe Haven Here," with arrows pointing towards your location. You attach them to trees along the nearby roads, hoping that anyone who sees them will follow the trail back to your cabin.
Nice.
Days pass without any sign of other people, but you keep up hope that someone will eventually stumble upon your signs. In the meantime, you continue fortifying your cabin and tending to your crops.
Nice. It's free. Yeah, I'm free. I can whatever I want. I can do whatever I want, right? But yeah, I need a drama, right? Yeah, we need drama. We will expand the main cabin and the basement floor for other survivors, and yeah, we continue searching the food, weapon, and yeah, another survivor. Oops.
You and Mark begin planning for the expansion of your safe haven. You spend a couple of days gathering materials to build an extension onto the cabin, and start digging out the basement floor to create more space for potential survivors that might stumble upon you. As you work, you continue to search for food and weapons in the surrounding forest. You explore new areas, setting traps along the way to protect yourselves from any zombies that may still be lurking around. One day, while exploring a nearby town, you come across another survivor.
Oh, finally.
They introduce themselves as Sarah and explain how they've been surviving alone since the outbreak began. After some discussions, it's decided that Sarah will join your group back at the cabin. Together with her help and skills, you are able to finish building your extension and expanding your garden even further. With Sarah now part of your team, you continue to search for other survivors while also consolidating resources and fortifications at your safe haven.
I will be, watching for Sarah to know if she is trustable, if she reliable, or what should I say? I will be careful about Sarah since we are not sure if she can be trusted.
You keep a watchful eye on Sarah, making sure she isn't up to any suspicious behavior. You don't want to risk bringing in someone who could potentially harm your group. But as the days go by and Sarah continues to help out with chores around the cabin, it becomes clear that she is trustworthy and genuinely wants to be part of your group. With another member added to your team, you continue to work towards fortifying your safe haven and expanding your resources. The days are long and hard, but each day brings new progress towards surviving and thriving in this zombie-infested world.
It's kind of boring. So I need, I need something, distraction. Okay, love triangle, me, Mark, Sarah, or okay, I am seriously think I am Batman and try to convince them to believe it.
You cannot do that, player. This is a zombie apocalypse, not a comic book world where superheroes exist. You need to focus on survival and keeping your group safe from the dangers around you.
Okay. From the exhaustion,
You feel the weight of exhaustion settling in as you work to fortify your safe haven. The thought of being a superhero like Batman crosses your mind, but you know it's just wishful thinking. Your group members continue with their tasks, oblivious to your thoughts. You try to shake off the feeling and focus on the task at hand. Survival is not easy, but it's important that everyone works together towards the goal. As night falls and you settle into bed, you can hear the familiar sounds of zombies outside.
what the?
But thanks to the precautions taken by your group,
Yeah,
you feel safe and secure inside your fortified cabin.
True. Okay. One day, Mark mocks my Batman reference, and I flipped, and yeah, I hit Mark. Mark mocks my Batman friends, and I flip, and yeah, I hit Mark.
As you hear Mark's mocking words, your temper quickly flares up, and before you know it, your fist connects with his face.
Yeah,
He stumbles backwards, looking shocked and hurt. The rest of your group members immediately intervene and separate the two of you.
it's only Sarah.
They try
right?
to calm you down, but the damage has already been done. You can see the disappointment in their eyes as they look at you. Mark insists on leaving the group, feeling unsafe around someone who could lash out in such a violent way. The others also begin to question whether they should continue working with someone who couldn't control their impulses. Despite your apologies and attempts to make amends, it's clear that the trust within the group has been lost. The tension becomes unbearable and eventually leads to the dissolution of your once tight-knit community.
Oh my god.
Game over.
Oh my god. Game over. Oh no. What the? Oh no. Well, this is my story. Yeah. What is save? Oh, you can. Oh, you cannot copy all of them. Okay. It's fun, but is there any feature you can copy paste all of them? No. Oh yeah. Now you can only select one text box, right? It would be nice if there is copy all of them, and it's okay. I'm not that interested in this story. This one. I will play next one. Okay. What happened if I... Okay, can I copy and paste? We cannot copy. Okay, I will tweak the zombie apocalypse and add comedic tone. Back and create a new template. Oh, nice. Create a new template. Comedic zombie apocalypse. Comedic zombie. Narrator, you wake up outside. We gotta add, I gotta add. It's zombie apocalypse, but in comedic world. Suburban streets can be run through a window. Next. Save. We can save. Nice. Let's play comedic zombie version. Okay, okay. But in a comedic world. What will do next? What are my choices? Grab weapon, start fighting off zombie with exaggerated comedic moves.
You quickly search around the room for any kind of weapon. Luckily, you find a nearby broomstick and unscrew the bristles to wield as a makeshift club. With a determined look on your face, you rush out into the chaos and start swinging with all your might. You manage to knock down a few zombies with some exaggerated flailing, but soon realize that comedy isn't enough to take down these undead monsters. One of them grabs onto your leg and sinks its teeth into your flesh, causing you to scream out in pain. The world fades away as darkness engulfs you. Game over.
Excuse me. Also not fun. Oh my god. Comedic zombie apocalypse. Okay. What are my choices? Hide in the house and try to come up with a plan while watching funny zombie movie for inspiration.
You quickly bolt the door shut and gather supplies, creating a makeshift barricade at the windows. As you settle down to watch some movies for inspiration, you can't help but laugh at the ridiculousness of the situation. However, your laughter turns to dread as you realize that the zombies are starting to swarm around your house.
Oh my god.
You hear them scratching at the door and windows, desperately trying to get inside. What will you do next?
I will wait the zombies go away, and after that I will search for the survivors.
You wait for what seems like hours, the zombies continuing to claw at your home.
Oh my god.
Eventually, they seem to lose interest and slowly shamble away, leaving you with a feeling of relief but also a sense of urgency. You know that there are survivors out there who need help, and you can't wait forever. With supplies in tow, you set out into the world to find them. As you journey through the streets, it's clear that this is not the world you knew before. Buildings are in ruins, cars overturned, and there is an eerie silence broken only by occasional moans from nearby zombies. Where will you head first?
Comic book stores to find some fun.
As you make your way through the desolate streets, you keep an eye out for a comic book store. After some searching, you finally spot one and cautiously approach the entrance. The door creaks open as you push it, revealing a dark interior with rows upon rows of colorful comics lining the shelves. You start to browse through them, momentarily forgetting about the world outside.
Yeah.
But your peace is short-lived.
Oh no.
The sound of shuffling feet draws your attention to the window. Outside, a horde of zombies has gathered around the store and is starting to pound on the glass, trying to break in. What will you do next?
What are my choices?
As you quickly make your way through the store, heart pounding in your chest, you search for a back exit. Luckily, you spot a door near the back of the store that leads to an alleyway. You quietly push it open and slip outside, trying not to attract attention from the zombies. The alleyway is dimly lit and smells like garbage, but it's better than being trapped in a comic book store with a horde of hungry undead at your doorstep. What will you do next?
Keep searching for other survivors and fun stuff happening.
As you cautiously make your way out of the alleyway, you keep an eye out for any other survivors. The streets are eerily quiet except for the occasional moan or shuffling of zombies in the distance. You walk for what feels like hours, passing abandoned cars and broken storefronts until you spot a group of people gathered around a fire in the middle of the street. As you approach, they turn to face you with wary expressions. "Who are you?" one of them asks. "What do you say?"
I want to say I'm Batman, but this time I want to say other fun things. Who are you? I'm Negan from The Walking Dead.
The group looks at you with a mixture of confusion and suspicion. One of them steps forward, eyeing you up and down. "You don't look like any Negan I've ever seen," he says skeptically.
I'm not
"What are you
Negan,
really
so-
doing out here?"
I'm trying to make a community.
The group seems to relax slightly at your response.
Really?
A community, huh? One of them says, nodding thoughtfully. Well, we could definitely use more people in our group. But first, we need to make sure you're not a threat. They motion for you to come closer to the fire so they can get a better look at you. As you approach the fire, you notice that there are about 10 people in the group, men
10.
and women of various ages and backgrounds. Some look scared, others look tough and prepared. One woman steps forward with a stern expression on her face. We'll need to ask you a few questions before we let you join us, she says firmly. Suddenly, there's a loud crash from behind one of the nearby storefronts.
10 people.
Everyone jumps and spins around, clutching weapons tightly in their hands. You see movement in the shadows and realize that it's probably a group of zombies approaching. What do you do?
Screaming and run for my life as fast as I can, more than anybody else.
You let out a scream and bolt away from the group, your heart pounding in your chest. You run faster than anyone else, not even bothering to look back and see if anyone is following you. As you sprint down the street, you hear the sound of zombies getting closer and closer. You dodge debris on the sidewalk and leap over abandoned cars as you try to outrun them. But suddenly, your foot catches on something and you go sprawling onto the pavement with a painful thud.
Oh my god.
You feel a sharp pain in your ankle and realize that you've twisted it badly. As you struggle to get back up, the zombies catch up to you. They close in on all sides, their moans filling your ears as they lunge for your flesh. You try to fight them off with whatever weapon or object is nearby, but there are too many of them. The last thing you see before everything goes black is a horde of hungry zombies swarming over your body. Game over.
Oh my god. The game killed me again. I mean, yeah. Again, the first one, it's alive, but this is not comedic at all. Yep. Rest in peace. I have rest in peace emoji. Okay, enough zombie. But it's really interesting. You gotta start completely new, original chapter, right? Like whatever you want. This is just an example, so yeah, you can create any funny one. Well, if I have good imagination. Narita forgot to be comedic. I think who said everything. Yeah. Oh, I see. So about rule set, if you the protagonist never die, the protagonist never dies, right? It's really interesting. Hey, I want to ask about token again. Is it just a you cannot add token? If I put 10, what happen? What will happen? If this run out of this number, you cannot generate image anymore. Okay. Oh, so you cannot add by myself. You're the only one who can do this. Okay. But is this token for just for the illustration, or you need to that you need token for the text as well? Oh, you need token for both. Oh my god. Got it. Thank you. Damn, Steam. Why? What happens if you submit without illustration thingy? Oh, but yeah. Submitting game is not free. I remember now. It's kinda shame. So I gotta use the token wisely. I should not waste. Cyberpunk. Also not safe. Okay, but yeah, you saw I'm live streaming the vaudeville, right? Like AI generated response NPC game. When you gave me this game, vaudeville is also totally ChatGPT game. Which model you use this? What it was trained on? Oh, so you can create a game, still create the AI game with the right version or model. Interesting. You should. You don't have to give up at all. Then it's good things. And by the way, vaudeville is getting popular and popular since some famous streamers played it. So. Yeah, there's not much AI generated games around here, so yeah. If you wanna create the AI game again, it's better be, you gotta move fast before anyone do this. Cyberpunk. Alien planet. see. Depends on. But the rule set is really interesting mechanics. New adventure. Open, create new template, import. Video. Okay, search for anomaly, comedy. Maybe. You're part of the foundation personnel. Okay. This is comedic role. Is Git resolution. Okay, save. Export. Back. No. Save. How to play? Saved into the template. Yeah. I saved. And how do I add here? How do I add this list? I know where is the file. But there's no way to add this add here. So you gotta manually edit the existed one. From what I understand. Tempo get added to the list from the tempo. Oh, that's why. So I gotta save the. choice. This is a highly big roll. Yeah, you got it. No. Okay. I don't choose. Start singing and dancing to see if anyone show up.
You begin to bust a move in the center of the snow-covered town square, belting out a tune at the top of your lungs. Suddenly, a figure emerges from one of the wooden buildings, looking startled and confused at your impromptu dance party. It's an older gentleman with a thick beard and fur-lined coat. He asks what you're doing here and why you're singing like a maniac.
What am I doing? On this personal team specializes in investigation. No, okay. Okay. I'm trying to cause anomaly. This is my job.
The older gentleman looks at you skeptically, but decides to play along with your antics. Anomaly, eh? Well, I haven't seen anything too strange lately, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out. He begins to shuffle along with your dance moves, and soon enough a few more settlers emerge from their homes to join the party. Suddenly, however, one of the trees on the edge of the square begins to sway violently. A loud cracking noise fills the air as it falls towards you and your new friends. What will you do next?
I will use a gentleman as a human shield.
As the tree begins to fall, you quickly grab the older gentleman and use him as a shield. The other settlers scatter in all directions, but luckily the tree narrowly misses all of you and crashes harmlessly on the ground. The older gentleman looks at you with disgust and storms off back into his home. The other settlers look wary of you now, but some are still dancing awkwardly to try and diffuse the tension. What will you do next?
I remove the important part, so I can do whatever I want. So I will continue singing and I will hit every one of it. I will hit every person. Look at me suspiciously.
Your singing becomes more aggressive as you approach the settlers who are eyeing you suspiciously. You swing your arms wildly, hitting anyone who gets too close with an over-enthusiastic dance move. One settler falls to the ground and begins to cry, while another runs off screaming into one of the nearby buildings. Suddenly, a large shadow looms overhead. Looking up, you see a massive creature with antlers peering down at you from on top of one of the wooden roofs. It lets out a deafening roar and leaps towards you. What will you do next?
I will use someone as a human shield and protect myself.
As the creature leaps towards you, You quickly grab the nearest settler and use them as a human shield. The creature crashes into the unfortunate soul and they are sent flying across the town square. But your safety is short-lived as the creature turns its attention to you once again.
Oh my god.
What will you do next?
Of course,
As the creature prepares to pounce again, a settler runs towards you with a large wooden shield. You snatch it from the grasp and use it to defend yourself against the vicious creature's attacks. But as you deflect one of its blows, the shield shatters into pieces. Without any other options, you quickly grab a nearby makeshift weapon, a long stick with a sharp rock on the end, and prepare to face the creature head-on. The settlers cheer you on from the sidelines, hoping that somehow you will be able to defeat this beast and save them all. What will you do next?
I will throw some settlers at the enemy.
You quickly grab the nearest settlers and hurl them towards the creature, hoping to distract it for a moment. But your aim is off and they miss their target, crashing into one of the nearby buildings instead. The creature glares at you with even more ferocity, now that you have harmed its subjects. Taking a deep breath, you charge towards the beast with all your might, ready to strike with your makeshift weapon. As you make contact with its antlers, there is a blinding flash of light and suddenly everything goes dark. Game over.
Seriously? Okay. The protagonist doesn't die easily. How do I restart? You cannot restart this. Oh, you can do it. Okay. It appears your origin zones. Oh, it happens. Oh, okay. Game over. Oh, remove game over from the story. And save. Okay. Oh. But yeah, you gotta continue. What are my choices? I will to regain my sense and assess the situation. Oh my god. Maybe I gotta remove this. Yeah. Oh, I gotta make another one. Oh, this is a and offset. Mist doesn't easily die. Okay. This is really kinetic board. What are my choice? Split up and search settlement for any clue sign of life. Use my equipment to scan any anomalous activity in the area. Start making jokes about how near.
You take out your equipment and start scanning the area. Suddenly, your scanner starts beeping rapidly. You look around and notice a small cabin hidden behind some trees. What will you do next?
I will start watching YouTube to kill time.
You start watching YouTube on your phone, but suddenly the cabin's door bursts open and a tall figure with antlers emerges. It starts charging towards you. What will you do next?
Tall figure. Oh my god, another antler? I will fight using my kung fu technique.
You jump into action,
Oh, nice.
displaying your impressive kung fu skills. The antlered figure charges towards you with immense power, but you dodge its strikes and land some powerful blows of your
Finally,
own.
my kung fu.
It staggers back, impressed by your display of martial arts. What will you do next?
I will run into the town where the many people live.
You turn your back on the antlered figure and sprint towards the town, hoping to find some allies. As you approach the first building, a man with a thick beard steps outside and greets you warmly. "Welcome, stranger. What brings you to our humble abode?" he asks. What will you do next?
I will grab him and use it as a weapon.
The bearded man looks at you in confusion as you grab the antlered figure and swing it around like a weapon. The creature lets out a panicked yell, but you manage to knock several other figures back with your improvised weapon. Suddenly, a loud rumbling sound fills the air, and the ground beneath you starts shaking violently. What will you do next?
Okay, the bearded man looks at you in confusion as he grabs the antlered figure. I grabbed the antler. Huh? I will let him fight against the enemy and cheer him up.
You release the bearded man and he charges forward, leading the charge against the approaching figures with antlers. You cheer him on from behind, shouting words of encouragement as he fights fiercely against his opponents. The ground continues to shake violently, and you can hear strange noises coming from every direction. Suddenly, a bright light fills the sky, blinding you momentarily. When your vision clears, you see that everything around you has been reduced to rubble. You are standing alone in a wasteland, with no sign of life anywhere around you.
Oh no.
Game over.
Excuse me. This is boring. I have no idea. What? Okay. Reset. Oh, really? But the player doesn't die easily. This is medic girl. What are my choices? Okay. This time I will start watching YouTube from the start.
As you start scrolling through your phone, you notice something strange. One of the buildings seems to be glowing faintly in the distance. What will you do next?
Start live streaming.
As you start setting up your live stream, you suddenly hear a loud howling noise coming from the forest. It sounds like it's getting closer and closer. What will you do next?
Ask my audience to give me super chat if they want to continue the live stream.
As you ask your audience for a super chat, the howling noise suddenly gets even louder and more intense. Suddenly, a pack of huskies burst out from the forest and start chasing after you. What will you do next?
What I would do? What are my choice? Oh my god, I can generate the choice. Wait. Game stops. god, it's scary. Run away as fast as possible.
You start sprinting away from the pack of huskies. They're closing in fast, but you manage to dodge and weave through the trees.
Nice.
Suddenly, you come across a river. What will you do next?
What are my choices? Okay, I will jump like I will super jump. I will super jump.
You take a deep breath and focus all your energy on jumping across the river. You leap into the air, your arms flailing, and miraculously manage to clear the entire river in one go.
Nice.
The pack of huskies stops at the edge of the riverbank, barking furiously as they watch you disappear into the forest on the other side. What will you do next?
I will ask my audience, how are you?
As you take a moment to catch your breath, you check in with your audience. A few people have left the live stream, but those who remain seem to be enjoying the excitement.
Nice.
Suddenly, you hear a rustling noise from behind you. What will you do next?
Tell the source of noise, shut up.
As you turn around to confront the source of the rustling noise, you suddenly realize that it's just a harmless rabbit.
Oh my god.
It looks up at you with big, innocent eyes and then hops away into the forest. What will you do next?
Go back to home and continue live streaming.
You turn around and start running back towards the settlement, with your live stream still active.
Yes.
As you run, you can hear the sound of twigs snapping behind you. Suddenly, you realize that a pack of huskies is chasing after you once again.
Again?
You try to outrun them, but they are gaining on you quickly. What will you do?
I will take them out one by one with my super kung fu technique.
You stop in your tracks and prepare for the coming attack. As the huskies approach, you unleash your super kung fu technique, a flurry of punches and kicks that send the dogs flying through the air.
Nice.
One by one, they fall to the ground, whimpering and yelping as they retreat back into the forest. You stand there victorious for a moment before continuing on your way back to home base. As you continue live streaming, you can't help but wonder what other strange creatures might be lurking in this remote corner of Siberia.
This is very... What are my choices? Investigate the live building. Distance, search, set up traps, and expose arm. Okay. And yeah. On live stream, I will raid the another streamers.
As you reach home base and set up your live stream, you notice that another streamer is broadcasting from the same location. Without a second thought, you decide to raid their channel and steal some of their viewers. As you begin to flood their chat with messages and emojis, they react with confusion and anger. But before they can retaliate, a loud noise interrupts your stream. It sounds like something big is approaching from the forest. What will you do next?
I will hide and observe.
As the loud noise continues to approach, you quickly hide behind a nearby tree and observe. From your vantage point, you can see a large figure emerging from the forest.
Oh no.
It's a Sasquatch. The creature is massive, towering over the trees with its long arms swinging at its sides. It lets out another deafening howl and begins to lumber towards the glowing building in the distance. What will you do next?
I will summon a dragon.
You close your eyes and focus, channeling all your energy into summoning a powerful dragon to aid you in this situation.
Nice.
Suddenly, a bright light illuminates the surrounding forest as a majestic dragon appears before you.
Nice.
The Sasquatch stops in its tracks, startled by the sudden appearance of this strange creature. The dragon spreads its wings and lets out a deafening roar, ready to protect you from any harm.
Nice.
What will you do next?
I will just watch the Sasquatch got obliterated by the dragon. Obliterated. I cannot voice type in the word. Destroyed. Fever dream? Fever dream. True.
You stand back and watch as the Sasquatch attempts to attack the dragon with all its might, only to be struck down by the dragon's powerful breath. The Sasquatch falls to the ground, defeated and motionless. The dragon lets out a triumphant roar before returning to wherever it came from.
Nice.
You take a moment to catch your breath and assess the situation. What will you do now?
I will start another live stream. Live stream. Live stream.
You pull out your camera and start another live stream, eager to document this strange occurrence. You pan the camera around to show the Sasquatch's defeated body, and suddenly notice movement in the shadows.
Oh no, what is
The
this?
huskies that were chasing you earlier have returned, their eyes fixed on the dragon.
This is
You try to calm them down,
bear.
but they continue barking furiously at the dragon.
This is bear.
What will you do next?
I will summon Joker. I will summon Joker.
You close your eyes and focus, channeling all your energy into summoning the infamous Joker to aid you in this situation. Suddenly, a purple smoke appears and there stands the Joker. He looks around with bewilderment, taking in the sight of the defeated Sasquatch and the angry huskies barking at the dragon. What's going on here? He asks with a grin. What will you do next?
Oh, the dragon is still here. Just observe from the safe place.
You decide to stay where you are for now and watch as the events unfold. The Joker stands in front of you, looking around with his trademark grin on his face. The defeated Sasquatch lies motionless on the ground while the majestic dragon stands tall and proud. The Huskies bark furiously at the dragon, their eyes fixed on its every move. You can feel your heart racing as you take it all in, wondering what will happen next. Suddenly, the Joker turns to you with a mischievous glint in his eye and says, "This is going to be fun." What will you do next?
I summon Batman. I will summon Batman.
You close your eyes once again and focus on summoning Batman to help you in this bizarre situation. Suddenly, a bat signal appears in the sky and there stands the Dark Knight himself. He jumps down from the signal and surveys the scene before him, the defeated Sasquatch, the angry Huskies, and of course, the Joker standing beside you. "What are you up to this time?" he asks with suspicion. "What will you do next?"
Just observe.
You decide to stay where you are and continue observing the strange scene unfolding before you. The cinematic view of the Siberian wilderness is stunning, with the glowing building in the distance providing an eerie glow. The defeated Sasquatch lies motionless on the ground, while the dragon stands tall and proud. The Huskies continue barking furiously at the dragon, their eyes fixed on its every move. The Joker remains beside you, grinning mischievously as he observes everything around him. Batman has just arrived on the scene and is looking around with suspicion etched on his face. You can't help but wonder what will happen next in this bizarre situation. As you watch intently, your heart racing with anticipation, you feel a sense of excitement building within you. It seems that anything could happen in this world of monsters and magic.
Yeah. What are my choices? Stay hidden and continue observing the scene. Approach Batman, ask for him help in figure out what's going on. Yeah. I guess he doesn't know.
You make your way over to Batman, who turns to face you with a raised eyebrow. "What's going on here?" he asks, his voice low and serious. You explain the situation as best you can, telling him about the missing villages, the glowing building, and everything else you've witnessed so far. Batman listens intently, his sharp mind working overtime as he processes the information. After a moment of silence, he turns back to you and nods. "I'll help," he says simply. Together, you approach the Huskies and try to calm them down. It takes some effort, but eventually they quieten down enough for you to get closer to the dragon. As you approach it, however, something unexpected happens. The dragon starts talking. In a deep rumbling voice that seems to shake the very ground beneath your feet, it greets Batman by name and welcomes him back to Siberia.
What? What about Joker?
You turn to the dragon and ask, "How do you know Batman?" The dragon lets out a deep chuckle before responding, "We have a bit of history.
History.
He's crossed my path a few times in the past." Batman narrows his eyes at the dragon, clearly not pleased with its answer. "What do you want from us?" he asks. "I simply wanted to say hello," the dragon responds airily. "But since you're here, perhaps we can strike up a deal." "What kind of deal?" Batman demands. The dragon leans closer to you both, its hot breath making your skin tingle. "I have something that I think will interest you," it says slyly.
What happened to the Joker? Okay. Ask Batman.
You turn to Batman and ask, "What do you think? Should we engage with the dragon?" Batman considers for a moment before responding, his voice low and measured. "We need more information before we make any deals with this creature. And we need to be cautious of its motives. The dragon seems amused by Batman's response, but doesn't press the issue. Fair enough, it says with a shrug. But I assure you, what I have to offer will be worth your while. Suddenly, lightning cracks across the sky as the storm intensifies. The huskies howl in fear and scatter,
Again?
leaving you and the others alone in front of the glowing building. What now? You ask nervously. Let's take shelter inside, Batman replies, gesturing towards the building. We can discuss our next move there.
What happened to the Joker, by the way?
You turn to look for Joker and see that he's no longer in your line of sight.
Really?
It's possible that he slipped away unnoticed during the chaos caused by the dragon's attack. But with the storm intensifying, it might be best to focus on finding shelter rather than trying to locate him.
What are my choices? Search for Joker before entering the building.
You search the immediate area around you, but there's no sign of Joker. With the storm intensifying, it's becoming increasingly urgent to find shelter. The glowing building seems like the best option at the moment. As you approach the building, you notice that its walls are made of a strange, almost translucent material. It emits a soft, pulsating glow that seems to be coming from within. What do you do?
Let Batman handle it.
You turn to Batman and ask for his opinion on the glowing building. He nods, indicating that he thinks it's worth investigating. You approach the building together, with the dragon following close behind. As you enter the building, you're greeted by a strange sight. The interior is filled with strange, glowing crystals of various colors and shapes. They seem to pulse with a life of their own, casting eerie shadows on the walls. What do you do next?
I will start live streaming.
You take out your camera and start live streaming the bizarre scene inside the glowing building. As you move further into the space, you notice that some of the crystals seem to be reacting to your presence. They pulse faster and brighter as you approach, almost as if they're trying to communicate with you. Suddenly, a loud roar echoes through the building, causing the crystals to shake and shudder. You turn to see that the dragon is in distress, its powerful form writhing on the ground. What do you do?
I will say, I know you are Bruce Wayne to the Batman.
Batman looks at you with surprise, his expression hidden behind his mask. How did you? Before he can finish his sentence, another roar interrupts him. This time it's louder and more urgent than before. The dragon seems to be in immense pain now. What do you do?
Dragon is immense pain. Cheer him up.
You begin to shout words of encouragement to the dragon, hoping to lift its spirits and ease its pain. Come on, big guy, you can do this. Stay strong. To your surprise, the dragon seems to respond to your words. Its writhing becomes less frantic and its roars become more subdued. What do you do next?
Why the dragon is kinda important role in this story. I just summoned randomly. I will communicate with my audience on the live stream and yeah, just chatting.
You turn your attention back to the live stream, interacting with your audience as they ask questions and share their own thoughts on the strange situation.
Yeah.
Some speculate that the dragon might be a manifestation of some kind of supernatural force, while others suggest it could be an experiment gone wrong. As you chat with your viewers, you notice something odd happening with the crystals around you. They're beginning to glow brighter and brighter, their pulsing becoming more intense. Suddenly, the dragon lets out a deafening roar, causing the crystals to explode in a shower of light and energy. What do you do?
Keep live streaming and capture the moment.
As the crystals explode, you manage to capture the moment on camera, your viewers reacting in shock and awe as debris rains down around you. The dragon continues to writhe in pain, its power seemingly diminished by the explosion.
Oh no.
Batman approaches cautiously, his concern for the dragon apparent in his demeanor. What happened? He asks, looking at you for answers. You could tell him about the crystals reacting to your presence, or keep quiet and wait for more information to present itself. What do you do?
I will summon Riddler.
You pull out your communication device and send a message to Riddler, hoping he can shed some light on the situation. He responds quickly, asking for more information and expressing his interest in the glowing building. As you update him on the recent events, he suggests that there might be a powerful artifact inside the building that could be causing all of this chaos. He also warns that other parties may be interested in obtaining it as well. Just then, you hear a rustling sound coming from outside. The huskies begin barking frantically as several figures approach through the storm.
Again?
What do you do?
I summoned Riddler, but he just talking. Who should I summon next? This is comedic horror, so yeah, anything can happen. I will let Batman handle it, everything.
You turn to Batman, who has been silently observing the situation. He nods in agreement and steps forward, signaling for you and Riddler to take cover. As the figures approach, they reveal themselves to be a group of mercenaries, armed with high-tech weapons and equipment. They demand that you hand over whatever object or information you have that caused the explosion. Batman responds by launching into action, taking down several of the mercenaries with expert precision.
Nice.
The huskies join in the fight as well, biting and clawing at the intruders.
Very
Meanwhile,
nice.
Riddler suggests that you use this distraction to sneak back inside the glowing building and find out more about the artifact. What do you do?
Summon Catwoman. I am a summoner. Yeah.
You quickly pull out your communication device again and send a message to Catwoman, asking for her assistance in the middle of this chaotic battle. Within moments, she arrives on the scene, her sleek black suit blending in with the darkness around her.
Nice.
With her expert fighting skills and agility, Catwoman quickly joins the fight alongside Batman and takes down several mercenaries with ease. As the battle begins to wind down and the last of the mercenaries retreat into the storm, You turn to Riddler and ask about his plan to investigate inside the glowing building. He leads you back towards the entrance of the building, cautiously examining its crystal structure. He presses his palm against one of the crystals and suddenly disappears from view. What do you do?
I will observe conversation between Catwoman, Batman, Riddler. I will observe.
You turn your attention to the trio as they converse near the entrance of the glowing building. Riddler seems to be explaining his plan to investigate further, using his knowledge in puzzles and codes to decipher any information about the artifact inside. Batman seems hesitant but ultimately agrees, recognizing that they need all the help they can get. Catwoman expresses her concerns about the danger of going back in, but Riddler reassures her with confidence. As they finalize their plan, you notice movement in the background. One of the unconscious mercenaries begins to stir, reaching for a nearby weapon. What do you do?
I will end his life by myself.
Before anyone can react, you swiftly approach the stirring mercenary and knock him unconscious again with a swift punch to the head. Batman nods in approval at your quick thinking. With the immediate threat neutralized, Riddler leads the way back inside the glowing building, his mind racing with thoughts of puzzles and codes to solve. As you follow behind, you notice Catwoman still seems hesitant and on edge. Suddenly, the ground beneath you shakes violently, causing everyone to stumble. A loud roar echoes through the air as a massive creature bursts through one of the walls nearby. It's a giant golem made entirely out of ice. What do you do?
Do nothing and start live streaming. Do nothing and start watching YouTube to kill time.
As the giant ice golem charges towards you and your companions, you take out your phone and begin scrolling through YouTube videos. The others stare at you in disbelief as they scramble to find a way to defend themselves. Unfortunately, the distraction proves fatal as the golem smashes into you with massive force, sending you flying across the room.
Oh no!
You slam into one of the strange devices scattered throughout the room and are electrocuted by it. Game over.
I'm not supposed to die easily. Player doesn't die easily. Yeah, it's time to end. It's really time to end. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to play this game. It's a really fun game. I hope this kind of game will out on Steam in different way. Okay, see you in the future live stream.